What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Deadball TV. We have the overdue CONMEBOL recap. We know that we're a little late with this one, but we're going to make that up to you guys with some more special CONMEBOL content dropping here soon on the channel. So hit subscribe for that. Bit more long form, bit more intensive, bit more deep thought, if you know what I'm talking about. So don't miss that. Hit subscribe. What we're going to do is do a rapid fire assessment of the 10 CONMEBOL teams for the March window, give them a grade, and talk about any quick takeaways that we have for these guys. And we're going to go through this as quickly as we can. You guys follow along. Let us know what your biggest takeaway was from your own national team down below in the comments. And who knows, if you leave a really banger comment, you might get featured in the next episode. Maybe we'll have to pick up, pass the baton to us, so to speak. Let's start with a difficult one. Let's start with Chile. I don't know why I'm drawn to this team. Maybe it's because their flag looks like the flag of Texas. But these boys lost 1-0 away to Paraguay and then got the 0-0 draw at home to Ecuador. What are we going with Chile?
So I think we talked about this in our anticipatory video, pre-window. They had one of the most climactic, important windows of the bunch. Drop a ball.
They dropped the ball here?
I put it in here. They were the very last team I graded. Pre-show when we were chatting, I was, just mulling it over because I don't know what to tell these guys anymore. I don't know. Like, they've got the recipe. There's something that needs to be done, and it's just not happening. I gave them an F.
An F?
I gave them an F.
Okay, I went D. I'm going D because they didn't lose to Ecuador. They really needed the win, though. So even that's like a lowercase L. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then losing to Paraguay, and albeit I didn't think they were actually that bad in this game. Thought the first half was super competitive, but they still lost. And before this window started, they were in 9th. When the window ended, they were in 10th. So they slid down the table. Peru leapfrogged them. And anytime Peru is passing you in the standings, things are not going well. You know what I mean? Maybe it is an F. I think I'm talking myself into an F here.
Listen, some of these other teams, you're going to hear me say this a lot. This window, right? This video, and probably in the next video too. You got to win the games that you got to win. And you can draw it home to Ecuador, and I think that's an impressive accomplishment. And yeah, you're right. From what I was able to glean so far, that game against Paraguay was not awful. However, what did you bring home?
It's too late for that.
It's too late for that. It is too late for that, and you're sinking further and further away. And at this point, I think I'm comfortable saying that there's nothing they can do, or it doesn't look like there's anything that they can do. There's no silver lining here to get them back into this competition. Like, frankly, I think that this is all I needed to see to know that they were done, and to sort of accept that. And that sort of resignation, that staleness, complacency is enough for me to give an F.
If this was the very first window of qualifying, this was match day 1 and 2, and Chile walked out, Paraguay away, Ecuador at home with 1 point, would you still go F?
With the state that Paraguay was in back in the day, I think I might still. Okay. I think I might still. Now, I might bump them up to like a D, maybe a D plus, because I do think it's impressive to tie Ecuador. I know Ecuador has a problem scoring goals, but to hold a clean sheet against them and to play a semi-competitive game against them, I think you can give kudos. You can give credit where it's due. But I think you got to take context into account this window.
Absolutely.
And for me, it's unerring. F.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. If we change the context, does this look better? A little bit. I think if this is window 1, you're right. It gets upgraded from an F to as high as a D+. But that was a fictitious scenario. It wasn't match day 1 and 2. And so we're going to have to go with the double F here for the Chileans. I did want to say one thing before we move on. In the form table, right? So only factoring for the last 5 games. Chile have 5 points, which for them is actually a slight improvement. It's 1 less point than Uruguay. And here's the ball cruncher right here. It's 1 more point than Colombia in the last 5. Can we just go right into Colombia?
Oh, we can go right into Colombia. You want
Let's go.
to know? I got some words for Colombia. Okay, go ahead.
Why don't you break it down for us?
You want me to break it down for you? All right.
No, why don't you break it down for us? I'm gonna guess you didn't
gotta
go A.
win. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. There are
Okay, just checking.
There are 3 teams here. Now, Chile, I gave an F because it's a matter of complacency in the sense that I wouldn't write "see me after class," because at this point it's too far gone. If you want to figure it out, I need to see the initiative on your part, and I didn't see that here. So, frankly, my hands are tied. You don't care, I don't care, right? Colombia, there's still life in this team, dude, and I'm gonna give an F, and there's a "see me after class" written on this one. I don't believe in F pluses, F minuses. None of that. If you're an F, it's an F. Full stop.
You're writing an
Right?
email to the parents.
I'm writing an email to the parents, and I'm talking to the student individually, right? I'm leaving a note. See me after class. There's something that can be done here, but you need to know what's at stake. And if it takes an F, a kick in the teeth, a kick in the pants to get you going, then I'm happy handing out that F. But that's where I'm at because they so underperformed that
1 point.
1 point. 1 point. Now, context matters. Context matters. I think you could rate these guys probably the same way that you could talk about Chile. I'd go as high as a D plus for going up 2 goals against Paraguay. That's impressive. That's impressive. Frankly, it's more impressive than holding Ecuador to a 0-0 draw, in my opinion. Now,
agreed.
Fumbling that when you are supposed to have, I don't want to say a lockdown defense, but a solid defense, a competitive defense, a defense that got you to the final of the Copa America. No. Losing that? No. And the kicker is seeing Brazil in the first game and seeing that result, and then seeing what happened to them against Argentina and saying, okay, Colombia that held Argentina to a 1-0, you're not that team anymore. That's what this F is for. It's an F performance because of what you were and what you could have done, and then falling to this level and underperforming not once, but twice. You can't do that. You cannot do that. You will get leapfrogged, and it will happen. I think at this point it will happen, and there's got to be a severe reversal of fortunes. Like I'm looking for a 180. It's no longer a course correction. It's a different course chartered altogether.
Yeah. I went F as well for Colombia. And I think the fact that they had a 2-goal lead at home to Paraguay and they let that slip. A Paraguay that their bread and butter is the defense. They're a good attacking side. They have pieces here, but you cannot allow Paraguay to come back down 2-0 to Barranquilla. It's unforgivable. I know that Enciso scored an absolute freaking banger, a worldie.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care because you know what? If this had happened 3 windows ago, when Colombia skid started, I would have said, okay, I'll give them a C for this window. I'll give them a C. They got unlucky. 4 points in your last 5 games?
Not having that.
This is very concerning. I mean, we've been ripping Uruguay a lot on this show. Uruguay recently are better than Colombia. And that is a travesty.
That is saying something. That is saying
something. Because you know what? This Uruguay side went away to Brazil and got a draw last window. And Colombia lost. I mean, I don't know what's happening to this team. It's really concerning now. It's a massive dip.
Massive dip. And it's looking like that is the new normal, right? I mean, we talked so much about Mexico and are they back? Does this mean that they're totally back? Do their recent results point to that? Does this signify that? You've got to see consistency, right? But the only consistency that Colombia is offering right now is a consistency of underperformances and, dude, I can't even say mediocrity. Poor performances.
Poor.
Yeah.
Dude, they're
I
sixth
don't
in the table. Sixth in the table. If this was last cycle, they're eliminated. Colombia is eliminated. The Copa America finalists, the team that went on a what? How long was their winless streak before the Copa final? It was pretty high. 20,
was it
20,
20 something?
24? I thought it was 24.
24?
I'm always conflating
I don't know why
your
17 is
streak,
coming to mind.
Algeria's streak.
Yeah.
Maybe it was 17. That was actually the first number that popped in my head. Maybe it was 17. Anyways, the
Point
audience
is,
will know.
coming up on 20 games.
Coming up on 20 games. You're eliminated from the World Cup. And they would have been eliminated from back-to-back World Cups. So if there's anybody who should be saying thank you to Infantino, the FIFA president, for expanding the World Cup, it's Colombians right now.
Yeah.
And that is something that should never be said.
Correct.
I'm honestly disgusted. I'm not totally selling all my stock in this team, but
no.
I went to war for these guys. And I feel like they're letting me down hard right now.
Well, and rightfully
really
so.
hard.
I mean, let's talk about their performances. The good is really good. I mean, you want to talk about that Luis Diaz goal. Oh my God. They got a little bit lucky with that. But you take those where you can get it, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I'll put it this way. The difference between a C and an F is pressuring and Cecil on the outside of the box. Your defense is capable of that. The fact that we're switching and we're holding that line a little bit too far when you know what this kid is capable of, when you
the
know
long shot god,
you should have him locked in and set up as your number one target. It should be John Duran and then Cecil. Full stop. They should be locked up, sent away. Throw the double team. Give a damn about the goon behind him. Doesn't matter.
They thought it was Almiron on the ball.
No. Not having
He should not be dancing on 3 Colombians like that.
No, we shouldn't. Listen, to me, that is the difference between like an incomplete assignment and one that's missing. That right there, somebody didn't do one piece of homework, and when not a lot of grades are in, that counts for a lot of your GPA, dude. That counts a lot for a lot of your GPA. I don't care what kind of an assignment it is. You gotta win the games. You gotta win, and I'm comfortable with them at an F because of that.
If they drew Brazil, what are we giving them? And then let's move on.
That's a tough one. I thought you were gonna ask me what happens if they win against Paraguay. If they win against Paraguay, I'd be willing to bump it up to a C.
Yeah,
I'd do that.
I'd go C+.
I'd do that. C+.
I think I'd go C+. Yeah.
But the disparity between one goal is crucial. Now, did you say if they won against Brazil or drew?
That was if they lost to Brazil but beat Paraguay. And I think I'm going C+ because they'd be the first people to beat Alfaro in Paraguay. Right. So I give them a little bit extra for that. If they tied both games, I would go, maybe I'm being harsh, I would go D+.
I would
D+,
go
C-, something like that.
I think so too, because you don't take anything from that, right?
No.
Maybe it's a slight course correction, but that's still mediocrity in my opinion. For this side, that's mediocrity. So,
dude, if Venezuela can get a draw away to Brazil and Colombia can't,
yeah, no, it's unacceptable, dude. God. If they win against Brazil, maybe a C-, C, right there.
Yeah, C.
Steadying the ship, keeping up with the pack, right there. Yeah.
Maybe even C+, just because they don't beat Brazil very often in World Cup qualifying, and to do the double on them this cycle, I would give a little intangible bonus point for that, and I would go C+. Okay. but they
This
had
isn't
to
very
beat
exciting,
Paraguay.
but you sold me on that. Yeah.
Let's talk about another down in the dumps national team we've spoken about a lot. Uruguay. 1-0 loss to Argentina at home. We did a live stream for this. If you don't want to miss future ones, make sure you're subscribed. And a 0-0 draw away to Bolivia. I don't know how they didn't lose in this game, but to Uruguay's credit, defensively, they're still a pretty good team, but 1 point from this window. What are you going for Uruguay? I feel like you could go maybe a wide range on this one. Curious what the audience thinks.
In my opinion, F. F again.
Another F.
Wrap them
3
up.
Fs. We're starting the episode. Okay.
Bag them and tag them, baby. F. Goodbye. Down below. You're telling me not a single goal. Not a single goal. You can be respectable defensively. But ask Ecuador. Ask Ecuador how far that gets you. And they're prolific defensively. Uruguay is not prolific defensively.
Not prolific.
They're good.
And you know what the difference is Ecuador's 9 is playing domestic football back in South America, and he's 35. In Uruguay, theoretically, have a Liverpool striker leading the line.
A Liverpool striker who was on track to tie and or beat Suarez's record halfway through the qualifying window.
Halfway through the qualifying.
And the plummet has been meteoric.
Yeah.
It has been just an insane downfall. I mean, they're crashing harder than the stock market in 2000 and what was the housing crisis?
2008?
2008? Yeah.
Yeah, 2008, I think.
Come on. Yeah, for me, it's an F because you don't have a single goal. You give me one goal, the results could even stand the same. And I would be willing to bump you up to a D. But the fact that there are no signs of life there, and I know it's a tough window, and I know that you have, Argentina and an away game against Bolivia, but I can't beg you for one conversion. And I don't even care who it comes from. It could come from a winger. It can come from, we're selling stock on Palistre like crazy, but Darwin can't convert one. Your boy from Real Madrid can't convert one. I don't know, dude.
Fede has been a ghost. You know what's crazy? I'm looking at the stats here. Bolivia outshot them 32-11. And Argentina outshot them 12-6 at home. No De Paul, no Lautaro, no Messi. Outshot 12-6. It's a fucking disaster for these guys.
It's a disaster.
I don't know if you remember. You know what? I think I was leaning D- because I thought Bolivia were going to beat them.
So they got out of there by the skin.
Surpassed my expectations. Yeah. I thought they were taking 0 this window. Congratulations to the Uruguayans watching. You got 1. I give you the D-. But we don't have time to talk about this now. This might be flushed out in the episode we're recording later this week. So again, stick around for that. I said back before the Copa America. Do you remember that Give and Go collab?
Yeah.
And we said which team needs success at the Copa America? I said Uruguay. Because this team, they're history merchants, man. They are history merchants right now. And I'm a historian. I have a degree from a 4-year university in history. I love that stuff. And even I am tiring. I'm tired of this national team. They honestly don't deserve the clout. Not only do they have 4 million people, so it's not like we getting the clicks from that audience by covering this team, but also they ain't that good. It's crazy. The worst Brazil of all time, so the streets say. I don't think that's quite true. Tied on points with them, above them on GD. I mean, with Marcelo Bielsa, one of the most earth-shaking appointments in recent CONMEBOL history. This team, man, I could shred them for 30 minutes because it's just been disappointment after disappointment after disappointment. I can't remember the last time I looked at Uruguay. It was probably when they beat Argentina in the Momoneta in the reverse
Yeah.
fixture. I was like, oh my gosh, these guys, they're hungry. They're coming for that Copa America. No, we haven't seen it since. So I'm going to go D- for them. I'll get off my soapbox here. I'll save it for the future EP. But you're going 3 Fs to start. I'm going 2 Fs and a D-. Well, let's see if this next team beats the streak here. Venezuela.
Okay.
This is an interesting one. 2-1 loss away to Ecuador and a 1-0 win against Peru at home.
You got to win the games that you got to win. I've got them at a C. And my one note for them, they're keeping hopes alive through sheer mediocrity. And that's all you got to do, baby. That is all you got to do. You want to stay in the race? Get 3. Get something. A goal in each game? Nothing to turn your nose up at. More than Chile? More than Uruguay?
Oh, you get 3 in each window? You're going to the World Cup.
You're going to the World Cup. You could be mediocre. They put the work in on the front end so that they could do it here. It's a college grading system. You knock the first 2 tests out, give a damn what the final score is because you already passed. Okay? Just put the work in so that you give yourself some breathing room later on. You don't take a vacation first semester. Absolutely not. You got to save your days because I know you're going out for spring break and I know that GPA is going to suffer then. Come on, cowboy. This is simple mathematics at this point. The Venezuelans got it. You're telling me that Uruguay, one of the most resolute economies in South America, can't figure this out? I don't know,
A
brother.
team with 15 Copa Americas as well?
I don't know. Kudos to Venezuela. See, right there, I'll tell you what, they could do some stuff to improve for sure. For sure. But they stopped the slide. They had a slide.
Yeah.
It's looking a lot slower now.
At least
Maybe
they put a
even halted.
goddamn Band-Aid on the wound.
At least they stopped the bleeding. Come on. You don't have to stitch the wound up. I don't need you 100%.
Bro,
No.
Uruguay's an open heart surgery on the table and blood's just squirting out all over the place. Same with Colombia. They're doing an ACL replacement and there's no anesthesia. The guy's just howling on the table. It's crazy.
Morphine hasn't even been invented. They gave him some rye whiskey and the doctor's using pliers and a screwdriver.
Yeah, they're just taking the whole leg off.
They're going amputation.
And that's about as ugly as this window was for Venezuela. I mean, they got cooked by Ecuador away. I know it was 2-1. They were ran off the pitch in this match. And dude, they almost did enough to sneak a draw late. That's more to Ecuador still being completely incapable of finishing chances. And then a 1-0 win against Peru off a penalty. I mean, it's literally the bare minimum you could have done. Who cares? You got the 3 points. I gave them a C+. 3 points for Venezuela. Job complete. Keep it moving. I got one note for this team. This is a crazy stat. In 7 games in Maturin, how many goals do you think they've conceded? 7 home games.
4.
2. 2 goals?
Venezuela. Mira eso. Okay. Wow.
Brazil scored 1. Argentina scored 1. Nobody else has
not
scored.
Bad goals to concede.
Nope. And they didn't lose either game. Dude, that Maturin XP boost is crazy.
Yeah. Well, I think we see a lot of that, right? CONMEBOL. Everybody turns into home merchants, but baby, if that's what gets you into the World Cup, that's what gets you to the World Cup.
Speaking of home merchants, should we do Bolivia next?
I think we should do Bolivia next.
3-1 loss to Peru away. 0-0 draw at home against Uruguay. You going to show them mercy, or do we need to hand out another failing grade?
No. This will be all right. This will be all right.
Okay.
I'm going to wrap them right up with Venezuela because in an effort to equitably, not fairly, not equally, but equitably grade this team, are we surprised? Let's be honest. Are we surprised?
I'm disappointed that I'm not surprised. Does that make sense?
Yes. Oh, 100%. Yeah, correct. But when you look at Bolivia, it's a big ask. It is a big ask. Now, losing to Peru, that's a little embarrassing, right?
Yeah.
However, a tie against Uruguay ain't bad. I got them sitting in the sea.
Terrible Uruguay.
Yeah.
I went D-.
You went D-?
Yes, because they beat Uruguay before. And they beat good Uruguays before at home. This was really like, come on, man. Venezuela getting the dub. Chile's already eliminated. Man, if they would have pulled 3 points together here somehow. Oh, they beat Uruguay at home? I don't care if Peru beat them 6-0. A window. Next. But they didn't.
Yeah.
So I got to go D- because this was not a good window. And guess what? They have a game against Venezuela next in Maturin that could decide qualifying. I just read you Venezuela's goddamn record at home. You think Brazil, Argentina, the only two teams who have gone in there and scored. You think Bolivia is going to be number 3? I mean, they might get a goal, but I got a stat for you here, which is also insane. In 7 away games, how many goals do you think Bolivia have conceded?
Have conceded. 10.
Oh, the Bolivians would sacrifice a white bull for the answer to be 10.
15?
They would sacrifice a family member for 15.
22?
They would fast for a month for it to be 22.
How much is it? Oh, my God.
They've allowed 23 goals in 7 away games. Ladies and gentlemen, that means that Bolivia averaged 3 goals conceded per away game through qualifying. And they've scored 4 during that. So they have a negative 19 GD away from home.
They're about to get eviscerated by Venezuela.
They're going to get cut up. Cut up. Solomon Rondon's getting at least 2 goals. That's what I think, man. I think they really effed it here. How many? Let's see. Let me go to points overall. Oh, I'm still looking at away. That's why. So, dude, and Venezuela have more points than them right now. Oh, dude, they might have fumbled it.
Who do they have up next? Let me check.
Venezuela away. And then after that, Venezuela plays Uruguay at home. Bolivia plays Chile at home.
So there it is.
Oh, there it is.
And then they play Colombia away and then Brazil at home. They have one opportunity. June 7th is a day that will go down in infamy for the Bolivians.
If they beat Brazil on the final match day to qualify,
oh, that would be legendary.
They could kind of do it. I'm not gonna lie. The way that Brazilian defense. Let's just get into Brazil.
Jesus.
2-1 win at home to Colombia. 4-1 loss to Argentina in the Monumental. And reports are that Dorival has been sacked, although I do not believe the Brazilian Federation has said that yet. So they're probably just waiting for the replacement. But it looks like Dorival's out the door. What are we giving Brazil? They did get 3 points. More than most teams can say.
Now, I might be hating here a little bit.
Okay.
I might be hating here a little bit.
Okay, that's fine.
But you're dropping a record-breaking or record-tying 4 goals against Argentina. You're going to get a D+ for that.
Okay.
You're going to get a D+ for that. Because C to me is mediocrity. You are doing everything that absolutely needs to be done, and you're not putting much effort into it outside of that, right? Everything that needs to be happening is happening. And frankly, with the state of Colombia right now, they should be beating Colombia. But losing 4-1 to Argentina.
Yeah.
When Neymar is on the cusp of returning. I mean, nothing will come of this, right? The difference between this Argentina team and the Argentina teams we've seen of, the days of yore, right? They needed Messi. Messi had to be there for them to get a result anytime. After they won the first Copa America, that was the case. Before that, obviously the case. Nothing happens without Messi, right? Brazil looks to be in a very similar boat right now. I mean, what? You're waiting for the prodigal son to return? I get it. You need a new manager. We're waiting on Carlo Ancelotti, but something's got to be done in the meantime.
Yeah, the players could play a little better meanwhile.
To play, yeah. You mean what is it? The most expensive squad in South America? They could stand to play a little better. They could stand to not concede 4. And I say this as an Argentine who took great, I would even say like succor, SUCCOR. They're going to clown me in the comments for that one. But I was gozando that win. You got to do better than 4-1, big dog, especially because, I mean, let's be completely transparent. As embarrassing as it was, Kuti gifted that goal to them on a platter. And you know what I would say about that is that's the sign of life. Cunha, get Cunha in the squad. Do whatever you have to do to get him in there, because he seems like the only ladrillo that can get off his ass and run to capitalize on a missed opportunity. Not Vinicius, not Endrick, not Rafinha. They're going in for everything. They fell for all of the old tricks. I mean, dude, in that locker room, if I'm Dorival, dude, I gotta say, the person who argues with De Paul for more than 10 seconds on the pitch, you're getting a $10,000 fine.
Yeah.
I'll fine your ass right here and now. That is the stupidest, most simplistic thing. Don't talk to De Paul. Don't talk to Paredes. Do not touch anybody more than you have to. If we are down, you can get a little physical, right? Get a little chippy, but make sure it's to our advantage. But no. They should have fouled Almada probably 10 times more than they did, but instead they fell for every classic bait in the book, and they were arguing with Guti, De Paul, and Paredes. The holy trinity of Argentine shithousery. I mean, I don't know what you want me to say.
Yeah.
And Emmy. Oh, my God. You opened the door for Emmy to do his little juggle trick there? And I bet you FIFA's not going to fine him for that. Nope.
No, not for that. I think anytime you have a historic beatdown, and it's one thing if, like, excuse to anybody watching, but like if Honduras gets historically beat down, right? There's a difference between that happening to Honduras and Brazil getting historically beat down. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. Nobody outside of CONCACAF will probably even know that Honduras was playing. But if Manchester United get beat 4-1, if Liverpool gets slapped up, if Real Madrid gets slapped up, everybody hears about it. And everybody, the casuals, the experts say this is unacceptable and this is embarrassing. And it is unacceptable. And it is embarrassing. And Dorival is likely gone. So there's your scapegoat. There goes the Greg Berhalter of the Brazilian national team, the one that
Mm,
everybody pointed at for every single problem. Dude, this next manager, oh, I better see the team improve. I
yeah.
better see the team improve, or no Brazilian should be touching the Ballon d'Or. Shouldn't even be top 3. After how they're playing for these guys. No, unacceptable. I'm gonna go D minus because they had to beat Colombia. If they would have lost to Colombia too and let Colombia get back on track, that would have been even worse.
Oh,
That's like the
yeah.
only way
That
this could have been worse, right?
yeah. That is the only possible contingency in which things could have gone worse. I mean, the rest of it is a nightmare. But this game right here might have single-handedly taken Rafinha out of the next Ballon d'Or conversation. Let's be completely
Yeah.
transparent.
I mean, his entire qualifying run just isn't good enough to stack up against some of the other Ballon d'Or favorites. And I think it's concerning that, again, people act like Brazil don't have pieces, act like they don't have talent. There's enough for Rafinha to sauce in this team if he wanted to. And I'm just not buying the it's 100% Dorival, even though I think the
No,
job was way too big for him. But
correct.
for the sake of time, we'll have more to say about Brazil in future videos. Let's go to Ecuador. 2-1 win versus Venezuela. 0-0 draw versus Chile away. What'd you give Ecuador? 4 points from this window.
Let it not be said that I'm a merciless God. I'm going B minus.
B minus. Okay.
I'll
I
go
like that
nice,
grade.
nice little conservative.
Yeah. I would have loved a goal in Santiago.
That would have been nice. Even if it's a
Yeah.
1-1 draw, I want to see signs that there's improvement happening, right?
Yeah.
But we're seeing more of the same. I'm seeing we capitalized on some chances that, frankly, they really should have. Probably still underperformed offensively, but hey, signs of life are signs of life. You gotta win the games. You gotta win, and they did that all while maintained. I saw marginal improvement while they maintained their current status. So yeah, that's a
Yeah.
B minus for me.
I like it. I'm not even sure what more I can add. I think in Venezuela, they deserve to win by way more than 1 goal. I think they created more chances, which has been a problem for them.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good thing. I still think you look at the 2 goals and you're like, bro, how do they not blow the wheels off of Venezuela? So it's kind of like, yeah, a half step forward for Ecuador. We learned nothing defensively about this team. They're the best defense in CONMEBOL. I'm pretty sure we've been saying that for years, I feel like. So didn't learn anything there. And I think it's important that they didn't. If they would have lost to Chile, that would have been pretty bad. I think just because you're like, wait a minute, you're losing to arguably the worst team now, objectively the worst team in CONMEBOL. Like it would have been a little bit of like, God, when is Ecuador just going to take the next step and like fully evolve into a stronger team?
Yeah.
And a draw. I'm not sure a draw answers the question. I think their next game is Brazil at home. They gotta beat the Brazilians, man. They gotta beat the Brazilians because then they can add. They got Colombia on the resume already. They got Uruguay, but they need one more big win this cycle. And if they could get the Brazilians on there, that's huge. But obviously for this cycle specifically, you know, I think B minus is great. I think that's
Yeah.
a very fair grade for them.
Can we get
Um.
somebody out of the way before the last big topic?
Oh yeah, who have we
Because I
not done?
feel we still have Argentina and Paraguay laying around, but I
You
want
want
to
to do?
say Paraguay for last. Can
Okay.
we just blow over Argentina right quick?
All right. Let's blow over Argentina.
All right.
A.
Dude, A plus.
A
A plus.
plus.
And
Yeah.
I'll go so far as to say as going into this window, I did not expect this, but I think what really gives them the plus is the magnitude in which they beat Brazil. And anybody will tell you that. Anybody will tell
Yes.
you that, right? But I think it just needs to be reaffirmed that not only did they get Brazil, they got Uruguay. That's like I mean, that's like
away.
Batman away. Mm, mm. I mean, that's Spider-Man beating the Sinister Six right there. It's all the baddies in one. Because I'll tell you right now, Colombia, great during the Copa America. We don't give a damn about them.
No, not really.
Full stop. The two people that we are concerned about day in and day out, and Chile is a problem of yesteryear at this point. Brazil, Uruguay, the granddaddies. Got them. Lickety split, throw it in the bag. Perfect window. Perfect. Infallible. Without Messi. Perfect.
Yes. I have very little to add. I think at the start of qualifying, Argentines would have looked at this window and been like, okay, this is going to be a tough one. And how comfortable this window was. I mean, Uruguay, we did the stream for that. You were solo for the Brazil stream. I mean, Uruguay didn't really threaten at home at all. Maybe a couple half chances.
Their
A set
midfield
piece
looked
or some
decent.
bullshit.
The battle in the
Yeah, it looked
midfield was
decent.
nice. I liked it.
I didn't think Emmy was that busy.
No.
And then Brazil didn't sniff the goal. I mean, yeah, like you said, Kuti gave them a goal, said, hey, this is getting a little ugly. Why don't you take this one right here, bring it back to 2-1. Let's see if this, gets some spirit back in you guys. No. Brazil were castrated against you. So it's an A+. 100%. I would even say if they tied Uruguay but beat Brazil in that manner, I'm still going A+, because that doesn't happen between Argentina and Brazil. You don't see results like that. And yeah, it's an ass whooping. The definition of an ass whooping. I mean, dude, I'm trying to think of like rivalry games. Chat, let us know. Rivalry games recently where one team spanked that ass that hard. I mean, I'm really trying to think here. Maybe like there was that one World Cup qualifier where Canada really rocked the U.S. 2-0, if you remember that. But even that was 2-0. 4-1 against Brazil. We should really be calling this a 4-0 because the goal was just a fluke. Every Argentine goal was beautiful. I don't think I've ever seen something like that. I mean, I don't know if England have beaten Scotland this bad recently.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I mean, this is one of the greatest single game performances of this decade so far in international football. 100%. It's absolutely top 5. You don't believe me? Drop 5 better down below in the comments. Let's go to Paraguay because you said this is the big fish. We're gonna end with the Paraguayans. Okay.
This is the
what do you got to say about it?
Here. This is the big talking point here. Now, Mr. Flynn, I love a B+. I love a B+ student. I love a B+ student.
Not an A student?
Because to me, not an A student, I'll tell you right now, an A student has got it like that. An A student, 90% of them, they have it like that.
God-given ability.
God-given ability with a little bit of effort, you're an A student for your entire life. To be a B+ student, to me, what that means is that you got to work for this. You got to work for this. And you might come up beat and bloodied, right? But that B+ is just one half step away from an A-. And that's the difference there. Because no matter what, you are an out-and-out winner, whether you get an A+, or an A-. To me, you did everything and then some, right? B+, you got a little bit to work on, but to me, that's like an incentive. That's a carrot on a stick. It's just like, you did everything right. Give me that one little extra bit. I'll be over. I mean, a B+ to me puts me in J.K. Simmons' role in Whiplash, when he's doing the drum solo at the end and he's going crazy. J.K. Simmons just like gets up and he's like, yeah, you're this close. That's what this Paraguay team is, dude. And you know what?
Okay.
You know what chaps my ass about these guys, dude, is
chaps your what?
My khakis.
Okay.
You
cut
know
that
what
in
pisses
post.
me off?
All right, anyways.
Cut that in post. I'm gonna get torn up in the comments, but I don't give a damn. I'm on a roll. These guys don't go down 2-0 to Colombia. Vamos. So watch the nature in which, I mean, especially that Luis Diaz goal, as beautiful as it was, rolled between the two legs of two Paraguayan defenders on accident. I mean, let's not respect them that much. Give me that little extra half step of effort and I don't know, put a foot in, give me a cootie tackle there, and you've got a perfect window, baby. Give me a cootie tackle, and then you've got Colombia 2-1. That's all I got to say. You're one goal away from an A+ performance in this window.
Interesting. You don't think you're being a little harsh here?
I think I am. But I think that's because I believe in this Paraguay squad, and I'm in an echo chamber here. I might have schizophrenia. I feel like they're listening. They're knowing that the Paraguay team watches us religiously. They need to take this as a call to action. This is my hook in the beginning of my thesis paper. This is my call to action.
So the Colombians battle back down 2-0 in hostile Barranquilla territory. Check the newspaper the next day and they see B+ performance. They say almost good in the headline is what it says.
Oh, no. It was good. Almost perfect.
Oh, almost perfect. Okay.
Almost exemplary.
Almost exemplary.
You made it out, but not without a little bit of scratches. And it was that close. It was that close. You give me one half step. You give me one. I don't even care if it's a yellow outside of the box. Anything but a pen in that situation. Luis Diaz has no goal. Full stop. You leave with
so you're saying that they looked vulnerable in this window.
I'm saying that
did we see the key to beat Paraguay for the first time since Alfaro took over?
Colombia had a scary start to that game, and they made one mistake. Well, two mistakes, but one glaring mistake, easily fixable. Come see me in office hours. Revise it. Do it. You could do it next time. This is a call to action. This test right here, 88, 89. Next time, it's 89. Not going to be a 90. It's going to be a 95. It's going to be a 98. Let me see it.
Okay. Interesting. I don't dislike your logic. I went A for the opposite reason.
Okay.
Because they battled back. It sounds like you're deducting a little points because they went down. And I'm awarding points because I'm reading the paper and I'm like, all right, the intro paragraph was trash. And I read the first statement on the second paragraph. I was like, I don't know how good this paper is going to be. But then by the end of when I reached the conclusion, I was like, you know what? That was actually not bad. That was a good paper. I feel like that's how I was. And so because they were able to, I mean, dude, there was a moment there where I was like, oh my God, what if Colombia win like 3-0? How do we look at this game? Because I don't remember what the time was when Colombia got the second. Was it within 15 minutes? It was pretty early, if I remember.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, Colombia are back. And you know what? Colombia almost were back. You know what this game was? This was like when the nine-tailed fox almost escaped from inside Naruto the first time. And then he had to like go into his own soul when he's like talking to the nine-tailed fox, and it's just like the big eyes and like the black kind of like outline. Yep. And I think he squishes its nose or something and it explodes. I might be conflating two different scenes from like the beginning of the show to the end, but you guys know what I'm talking about here. Colombia was a nine-tailed fox and it was trying to get out and it was going to rock the Leaf Village all over again. The Leaf Village being CONMEBOL. And Paraguay were Naruto and he said, not today, and just shoved that shit back down and clamped the door. Put a big ass padlock on that. Said, nope, 4 points and 5 for you. No win at home today. And I didn't think anybody could do that. I didn't think anybody could come back down 2 against Colombia in Colombia. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous to me. I said, no, this is not funny anymore. I was annoyed because I couldn't wait to come on and be like, I told you Colombia were going to get back. I told you they were going to get that big win. And they didn't. And instead it turned into like a kind of sad draw for Colombia. So I'm going A for it. Maybe I go A-, but because they didn't thrash Chile, but
you're right.
I mean, Chile were desperate.
You are 100% correct about this. All I'm saying is this is why there are different teachers for every class.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be rewarded in years, you know?
You're teaching science, I'm teaching history, right? We're coming at this from a different angle.
Damn straight.
Your test had more multiple choice questions than mine, maybe.
Or I had a trick question that I'm eviscerating the students on. Because I want to know who's willing to go above and beyond. And I'll tell you what, Paraguay got the trick question correct. Nailed the trick question. But they didn't put in the extra work. For the 3 layups at the beginning. You missed a vocab word. And that's going to keep you outside of a 90.
I feel like there was an extra credit question on the test. And Paraguay felt so good about their submission, they said, I don't need that. And they just left it blank. And you got mad as the teacher. And you said, oh, you think you're better than me. And then you just found something misspelled in the written section. And you just deducted 11 points.
This is spiteful.
For one grammatical error.
It's spiteful is what it is. But you know what it is? It's because I've seen them coming so hot. You think you're invincible right now. You made the basketball team. You dominating. And then we don't do the extra credit. But we want to talk to Mr. Flynn in the hallway. I don't know what to tell you. You've grown soft in your old age, Chadbourne. I've grown jaded and bitter.
Literally. Damn. I used to be ripping people for things like this. And now I'm like, God, what a story. Oh, this channel's God. All right, you know what? I'll end with one negative thing. I'll say one negative thing about Paraguay, because this is a negative. How many wins do you think they have on the road in CONMEBOL? 7 games. How many wins do you think they have?
2. 3.
0.
So they've been perfect. They've been perfect at home.
They are 4 wins from 4 under Alfaro. I don't think they won a home game before he showed up. Paraguay has checked me. They might have gotten 1 win at home early in the schedule before Alfaro. They have 5 draws and 2 losses away from home. Now, Alfaro still hasn't lost. He's got 4 draws in 4 away games, but he hasn't gotten his hand on the 3 points yet.
Okay.
So I'm just saying that because guess what? Paraguay is not hosting the next World Cup. So as great as they are in the Chaco, in Asunción, and you got two away games left. I don't even know who it's against. I don't care. I need a win. I need 1 win. You cannot finish qualifying with 0 wins away from home because that seems like a potential weak spot for me heading into the Mundial.
That makes me want to give him a B-. That makes me want to give him a B-.
The 6 Paraguayans who are subscribed don't understand where all this hate is coming from.
It's not hate.
They were like looking.
It's not hate. It's tough love.
You
dude.
sure?
You know who I am? You know who I am? I'm the coach from the Miracle team. All right. I'm Kurt Russell in Miracle. You know when he goes into the locker room and he's like, if you're gonna lay down, put your street clothes on. I don't want quitters in the locker room. And he's like, you think I'm a quitter? And he starts like, cursing him out. And then he walks out of the locker room and he says to the assistant coach, he's like, that ought to get him fired up in his Midwestern accent. God, that makes me want to ride through a brick wall. It makes you want to skate through a brick wall. That's what these boys need. You were 1 mistake away. One away from getting your first
Coach Carter
win on the road.
Samuel L. Jackson. Carter. Oh, it's a great movie.
It's a
great movie.
It's the one where he doesn't play them because of their grades, right?
Yeah. He doesn't play the stars because they don't go to class and stuff.
I gotta watch that movie. I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Yeah, you
and I'm
gotta
gonna
watch
cry.
it. It's a really good movie. It's a really good movie. I've seen it maybe only like 2 or 3 times. I prefer Remember the Titans.
Oh, well, how
Denzel's
could you
also
not?
great in that. Who's the
Oscar
actor
winning
that
performance.
plays the white head coach in that?
Oh, dude. I don't know, but he's a pretty legendary one, I feel like.
He's so good. I actually don't know how many movies he's in, but he's so good in Remember the Titans.
He's damn good.
You make sure they remember the night they played the Titans. And it was like, oh.
I remember watching that
That's
movie in
basically
class.
Gustavo Alfaro. Dude,
So damn good.
any South Americans watching this who have never seen classic American football and basketball movies are so confused. You should watch all of
Yeah.
these. Put
You
the
have
subtitles
to.
on and have a
You
great
don't
time.
you don't even need to know. You don't even need to know how to play the sport.
No, you don't.
No.
Just feel the
No.
aura.
Just
Honestly,
feel
you
the
might like the NFL after you watch Remember the Titans.
It is that good. Let me tell you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Racism in America, absolutely no match for a 4-0 football team.
No match for a high school team in the district championship game.
All those racist whites. I'm pretty sure this is the Shane Gillis sketch. Bro, those racist white guys.
Oh,
are
yeah,
like,
yeah,
You
yeah.
know what? Maybe we were wrong all along.
It's like, dude, that's so bad after all. Oh God, yeah. Required movie viewing to the Deadball TV subscriber base. Remember the Titans. Coach Carter is really, really good too. But if you had to pick one, Remember the Titans might be a little bit more iconic, I would say.
But hey, that's what we're talking about. That's the extra credit right there. You want to go far? Coach Carter is required reading.
Okay. So if you don't want to be a Paraguayan, watch both. If you're okay with being a Paraguayan, just pick one. Do the bare minimum. Even though they didn't do the bare minimum in this window, they actually did quite well this window. But
they did damn good. They did damn good job.
They did pretty good. They did pretty good. We'll have some more words for Uruguay. For Uruguay, Jesus. Well, we will have more words for Uruguay, but not the same kinds of words. More expletives for Uruguay than for Paraguay. And some future CONMEBOL content dropping on the channel. So, guys, hit subscribe for that. We hope you enjoyed this rapid recap that was not so rapid of match day 13 and 14 in CONMEBOL. I think that's what we're talking about. I'm just rambling now. It's probably time to end the episode. If you enjoyed, make sure you smash the like button, hit subscribe for more South American football content here on Deadball TV. And if you guys could share the channel with a friend who might also like CONMEBOL content, that'd be much appreciated. And lastly, make sure you're following us on Twitter and Instagram. The links are in the description of this video so that you know the next time Connor and I go live, just like we did for the Uruguay, Argentina, and Argentina, Brazil World Cup qualifiers. We got 2 windows left, then some friendlies, and then the World Cup. It's all coming down to that. Stick around. We hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next episode.